read to somebody. I'm gonna read a book with somebody. Hey, I'm gonna read to somebody. Gonna read a real cool story. Genius, how a desperate teacher and a rowdy gym class invented basketball, by John Coy. Illustrations by Joe Morse. Read with permission of Kalahara Books. In December of 1891, James Naismith, a young teacher, took over a rowdy gym class that had already forced 2 teachers to quit. He didn't want to, but nobody else would teach that class. The students hated those boring exercises and gymnastics that they'd been doing over and over. So Naismith decided to try something fun. Indoor football. Well, he needed something a little less rough. The next day, Naismith suggested indoor soccer. He called that to a halt. In desperation, he turned to his favorite sport, lacrosse. Nothing was working with this group. Naismith felt like giving up, but he couldn't. The boys in the class reminded him of how he'd been at their age, energetic, impatient, and eager for something exciting. He needed a totally new game where, to avoid tackling, no running with the ball was allowed. He remembered playing duck on a rock as a boy. In that game, you knocked an opponent's fist-sized stone off a larger rock by throwing your own. If you missed, you had to retrieve your stone before you were tagged, so accuracy was more valuable than force. He snapped his fingers and said, "I've got it! How about a game with a goal off the ground that required an arching throw?" That night he stayed up late thinking about the new game. The next morning, December 21st, 1891, Naismith rushed into his office and grabbed a soccer ball. Now, he needed a goal. He asked Pop Stebbins, the building superintendent, for a couple of square boxes. He didn't have any, but he had something else: 2 old peach buckets. Naismith tacked the rules to the gym bulletin board and promised the class that if this new game failed, he would not try any more experiments. Captains choose teams of 9 members, and Naismith selected 2 center men. He tossed the ball up between them, and they jumped for it to start the new game. Because the men had never played before, Naismith called many fouls for holding, pushing, and tripping. After 2 fouls, the player had to sit on the sideline until the next goal occurred. William Chase launched a shot from 25 feet that went in for the first and only basket of the game. When Naismith blew the whistle to end the game, nobody wanted to leave. The next day, the students lined up eagerly for the game. They played hard but avoided fouling because they wanted to stay on the courts. When students went home for Christmas vacation, they taught their new game to their friends. Soon people in cities and small towns and on farms were playing basketball. In 1892, a group of women teachers from a nearby school asked James Naismith if they could play too. "I don't see why not," he said, and the games were arranged. In one of them, Naismith, as referee, was shocked when he called a foul, and one of those women protested as strongly as any man, but he remembered that game clearly. One of those women, Maud Sherman, later became his wife. In 1936, basketball was so popular around the world that it became an Olympic sport. James Naismith attended the opening ceremonies, and when each nation dipped its flag to honor him, tears of happiness came to his eyes. Today, millions of people around the world play the game that was invented by James Naismith and that Rowdy class. Do you?